I believe we have John Ed Dixon here to.
No, that's Melissa. I'm getting her on the line.
Oh, you're getting on the phone. Okay.
Melissa, you want to say something to make sure that everybody can hear you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Try now.
She's on the line.
Can we hear her?
Melissa, can you hear them?
Okay.
Can y'all hear her?
I guess so. It's a little
If
muted.
you,
Just lay the phone
yeah,
next
lay
to
it down next to it,
Right
flat,
there?
Yeah,
with the speaker facing the microphone. The speaker
bottom
should
of the
be
phone
Okay.
facing
The
Right
bo-
here?
Yes,
the front of the mic.
there you go. You're
The
good.
front
Front?
part.
That's
Yeah.
Right here?
Okay. Let's try that.
Okay.
Please speak.
Melissa, can you say something?
Hello.
Ah, there we
That's-
go.
that's better.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah. It needs to be the front. Hello. Welcome.
I don't think she can hear us. You might have to talk for us, Mike, or maybe set it in front of maybe Butch's microphone or your microphone.
Can you hear us? Hang on.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Please speak again. We're trying to get situated.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Oh, that's very good.
Perfect.
That's very good. Okay, all right. Well, welcome to the meeting. We received some information today with regards to tax calculation, effective tax rate, and so forth. So, what do you bring for us?
Have you had a chance to look at the worksheet?
Okay, you want to start with a tax rate calculation worksheet?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Can someone show me what that looks
So
like?
the rates that are on page 10 are going to be the rates that were figured based on the information given.
Page
So
10.
for- I'm sorry?
You said page 10.
Yes, page 10. The very last page.
Okay, where it has the line 80. Starts with line 80.
Yes.
Okay.
So right under that is your section 8, your total tax rate. So for 2023, the no new revenue tax rate is 0.5553.
Got
That's
it.
the rate that would bring in approximately the same amount of money as last year.
Okay.
Then you have your voter approval tax rate at 0.5589. So that is the highest rate you can set without a petitioned election or without causing an election.
Okay, and that's the 3.5%?
Yes, that's with the 3.5%.
Okay,
Then you have your de minimis rate, which is 0.7695.
okay,
You can go anywhere between your voter approval rate and your de minimis rate, but the voters could petition for an election if they're not happy with that.
So
So
the-
that's kind of like your gamble area. Do you want to chance them petitioning for an election, or do you want to stick with the voter approval rate? But it gives you some room before you have to have an election.
okay, so that de minimis rate is the maximum we can charge for both M&O and INS,
Yes,
okay? Without an election,
right.
got it, okay? So, I just got this afternoon. I personally haven't had much time to study it, but my first thought would be, you know, we were already at essentially 0.49 on the previous tax rate, so now it's gone up. So is this reflected by the increased value of properties?
Well, your rate would have gone down, but since y'all adopted the freeze, that changes the way it's calculated. So that's why your rate's gonna be higher this year, because it's taking into account that freeze.
You're talking about our over 65 rate, tax freeze?
Yes, sir?
It affected it that much?
I do not have in front of me what your effective rate was last year. I don't remember. I know y'all didn't go with that. Bear with me one second.
Yeah, the council at that time I think went with Dora
13, 49,
49.4913, which was a drop of basically 3 points from the 3 years prior. So, I don't know what the effective tax rate was either for last year. I was just elected in May. So, and like I said, I just got all this.
For 2022, the effective tax, or the no new revenue rate would have been 4527.
Okay,
Last year, they actually went over the voter approval rate to get to the 4913.
oh, I see, and that was driven down by the increase in property values and I assume sales tax?
Yes.
Okay, and so is this a good reflection of revenue for the city of Devine?
Yes. I mean, y'all should be, going with either rate, you should be fine. I don't know what your budget looks like, but as far as just looking at the numbers in general, they look like they should work for
Okay,
you.
all right, well, I had always assumed that like I said, the no new revenue rate, if your property values increased significantly along with your sales tax, that the no new revenue rate would actually drop instead of increase. Am I wrong?
Right. Until you change up the calculation and add in a new piece,
So, okay, so.
which is your freeze.
Okay, so were you able to determine what the freeze, what the no new revenue rate would be without that freeze?
Yes, I had actually calculated it like that the first time. So the no new revenue rate without the freeze was 0.4439.
Wow. Okay. And then, at the time we adopted that, we asked for advice from the appraisal district, and I believe, and I'm just using round numbers, we were told it would affect us to the net money of approximately $26,000 this coming year. Does that still hold? I think I saw it was considerably more than that.
As far as my calculation, I got around 30, and that just depends on which numbers you're using. Her numbers are more updated than mine. I used what I was given at the time. But I would say between 26 and 30,000 is going to be your difference in money.
Okay. Between 26 and 30?
Yes.
Okay, so this changes the way you calculate it, the formula you use?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, the formula is always the same. It's just we're adding in a piece that you've not had before.
Okay,
And so the calculation tries to make up for it so that you don't have a shortfall.
okay, I understand.
And then going forward, it'll come back down as the value probably will go up. The rate will start coming back down. It just doesn't want to allow for a failure when you're trying to do something to help people.
I understand. Okay, all right. Council, anybody with any thoughts, questions for her?
She was saying it was
Okay,
between 26 and 30.
Councilperson Randall is speaking. Can you hear her?
Yes.
Okay,
We were told it would be 26,000 on the adjusted tax base, give or take. We understood it was an estimate. It's ended up being $53,000 difference on the tax base. Okay, now I'm not talking about the revenue to us, I'm talking on the tax base. So it has changed it tremendously. It almost doubled. So I don't understand how we could be that far off.
The 26,000 was actual tax. not
Right.
value.
right.
Yes, but I'm understanding it was the tax base, okay? In the new numbers we got today, it's 53,000 difference, not 26. So I guess that's why I'm not understanding how did it double? I understand estimates, I totally understand them, but I can understand 26 to 30, but I'm not understanding 53.
So where is the 53 coming from?
Well,
And Melissa, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, so what we figured was the 221 million is what we put into our worksheet. But I know that after talking to both of y'all, there's an added number that we're gonna have to add to that 221 million, correct?
yes.
So what is that amount?
You have 221 million, which is what is on the worksheet. That is the freeze adjusted taxable as of August 7th, ARB approved totals.
What line is that, please?
It's on this,
That is going to be on,
19A?
it's on this.
Oh,
It's easier to see on this, I
Okay,
guess I
well,
should say.
Nora sent that out this afternoon about 3 o'clock.
well, I have that too. I was just looking at her worksheet. So it's at 21,509,735?
21,103,806.
Okay, must be somewhere different.
Oh, yeah, the other sheet. The one you said, that's the one we got in the packet. The new one is 221,103,806.
Yeah, with what she just, what y'all got today.
Okay, hang on.
if you look at number 18 on the worksheet,
Okay,
that's where we're gonna put in the net taxable, which is the number before we pull out the freeze.
that's a
268,
268,
414.
268,614?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I see it. Got it.
And then we're gonna pull out the amount that was captured for your tax increment financing zone, your TERS.
Okay,
And then we add back in the 21,000 or 21 million she's talking about.
got it.
That is what is currently under protest.
Okay,
So what happens is we have two numbers. The value that's under protest is 29 million. If everybody got their way and everything was settled at the lower value, it would be 21.5 million.
Okay.
So we use the lower of the two numbers. So regardless of what happens, you will always get the 21,
right.
and that's why we use that number. That's where the 21 million comes into the calculation.
Okay,
And then that's where we subtract the freezes, and that's where the taxable value of 232 million comes from on number 21.
okay, so line 20, which is the 2023 tax ceilings, okay, that's the combined of our freezes and exemptions and such at 47 million in property value? Or is that just the over 65?
Jeanette, I believe that's just the over 65 and disabled person freezes, the ones that are not gonna change.
That's just the one, the exemption that we just passed?
Right.
Okay, so that
I think all
affects,
you have, so in essence, yeah, it should be everything.
okay, so our over 65 exemption deals with $47,510,000 essentially, that we, okay. So that's where it's frozen at?
Right.
Okay, all right.
That's the value of the present property.
Got it, okay.
When will all of it be, the people that are complaining, when will all those be done?
As soon as we can.
I didn't catch, was that from me? I did not catch
We
that.
still have 1,500 properties under protest.
She asked when will the protest be completed so we'll know the exact numbers. And,
Jonna can tell you when that might happen. It doesn't really matter as far as the rate goes because we will not go back and refigure it. That's why we do these calculations using the lower of the numbers to make sure that we don't end up with a shortfall at the end. But if we wait till all the protests are done, we wouldn't have a tax rate till October, November.
sure. Okay, so as we budget, okay, we definitely need to use this figure.
Yes.
And then if it comes in higher, that's just a little bonus for us in our budget.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can only go up from here, basically is what it comes down to.
You can only what now?
You can only go up from here.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so that's
So are we
good.
The only number that you
21.
must use that I figured is the debt rate, and that's because the debt is figured exactly to cover your debt, and that's 0.1044. After that, you can play with the numbers however you wish for your M&O, but that has got to be set for INS.
Okay, all right, that's the INS, I got you. Because that's fixed,
Right,
without adding anything new.
correct.
Okay. Oh, I see, here's the NNR rate from last year, for the M&O was 0.4496, I see it now, okay? Understood.
And your debt rate's number 48, if that, if you'll need that.
48, I'm not seeing a 48 on mine. I'm on the worksheet, the one with the blue headings.
Yes, should be page 6.
I go from 41 to 50.
Me too.
Page 6?
You're missing a page.
Missing a page?
Yes, me.
Okay. Do we have one printed?
Page, what, because I printed what Melissa sent. It doesn't have page 6 in it.
It's probably all based off the same email.
What's that?
Probably all printed off the exact same email.
Right.
Do y'all have page 6?
I don't.
No?
So we won't be able to have any copies.
Well, I have a page 6, but
Okay.
see the numbers just talking about.
Oh, wait, that's yeah. That's what we had in your budget now.
Okay. All right, we have a paper copy of page 6. Okay, we show, all right, line 48, the 2023 debt rate was 0.0836. Is that the one? Oh, wait, this is the old one.
Yeah, that's the one that he's just giving you, that's the correct one.
Okay, this one, all right, it's not one, not that one.
I don't know what that is.
What's it on?
Okay, line 48 for the 2023 debt rate is 0.1044.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's what we need to complete our INS responsibilities?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which is actually more or less than last year. He took it back. It's gonna,
Oh,
that's not last year's, that's just another one?
that's the one from that we just, no, that's not last year.
Oh, never mind. Okay, all right. Once again, I just got this afternoon and I did review. I personally haven't dove into it just yet. I figured that's what we would be doing right now, so.
Not a problem. It's
Okay.
a lot of information.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. What else? What else do we need to discuss? Okay, this is basically what we can and can't do. It has our property values. It tells us how much we can hopefully get for our budget, and so forth. It's got our limitations of what we can do. It has our minimum on the INS rate. It has a voter approval tax rate. What else do we need to consider?
I know when y'all decide that you are coming to an agreement about a rate, what will need to happen is during a meeting, you will need to propose that tax rate and everybody will have to vote. We need a record vote.
Right?
After that time, then we will publish the notice whenever you're ready to adopt. We need to publish the notice, and then 7 days later, you can meet, have your public meeting. Once the public meeting's closed, you can go in and adopt your budget and adopt the tax rate. If something were to happen and you could not come to an agreement to adopt that day, you have to do it within 7 days of that day, but you don't have to republish.
Oh, sure. That's just
So just so y'all know, you need to propose a rate, take a vote,
Right.
and then adopt a rate.
right. Got it.
That's
Other
normal.
than that, I have no more.
That'll be the
rules or
last thing after our
regulations.
Yeah, that's the
budget.
last 2
Yeah,
weeks of September.
Well, I was just kind of talking about
No, I know.
the materials that we have in front of us tonight. So do we still have an issue with regards to our over 65 exemption? Are we, is there any disagreement here? Is there anything that's not quite right,
Well,
Debbie?
I'm trying to figure out why it's double what we were told that it would affect. But it is what it is. I guess there's really no way other
So-
than saying
so you
the
have
tax
some-
assessor should pay the difference to us, but, you know, I'm just
You-
saying.
You have a printout that says it's going to affect us $52,000 of revenue?
Well, if you take the difference of this year, okay, this year we got $274,109,000. Okay, I'm looking at.
Oh, you're
this
talking about tax base?
Base.
Okay,
I'm talking
okay.
tax base.
Yes.
And right now, we're at 221,103,806. Although it sounds like we're gonna get another 21 million in that, so it's really gonna bring it up to 242-ish, maybe higher, but at the conservative end, 242. It's still a lot different. Like, I don't know how an estimation can be that off.
Well, I don't think it was. I think the numbers that we were working with was the actual money, the actual tax, right, and not the tax base.
No, that was tax base that they were talking
No,
about.
it's tax amount, actual taxes.
Okay, so give me a second.
Yeah.
How much was received?
What do you mean? What it showed was, what we had estimated was on the over 65s with the value we had on them and the current rate of 49 cents, those taxes would have been 242,994.60. In 2022, the actual tax on those same properties was 216,928.53. And the actual tax collected was 216,440, which shows the 26,554.
Okay, so it's still gonna be almost double different.
No, she
Because
said 25 to 30. Actual.
Tonight, she said 25 to 30.
Yes, because they had to wait
We
for
were
actual
told the
complete
tax
numbers.
difference would be 26,554.53 cents estimated.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what it is. Okay, it's coming out at 47.
Okay, well, that's not on here, so, okay, so okay. Great
That was
question,
on
can
the
they answer
worksheet.
that?
We just had the worksheet. We saw what the freeze was gonna be at 47.
That's the value. That's the value of it, that's not the tax amount.
Okay,
The difference in value is 47 million,
yes.
all right, and the tax amount, the difference is going to be between the previous 25 to 30,000 that we received.
None of these are adding up. But you know what? I don't wanna, we could sit here for another hour and I don't wanna do that. I'm just saying, something's not adding up. I don't like it.
I mean, I think they were doing it, stepping out on a limb, doing us a service, giving us a general ballpark estimate. I don't remember any guarantee of this is how much you're going to get or not get.
No, they didn't guarantee it. They were very specific and we knew that. But when we said, oh, it's only gonna affect $26,000
Of revenue.
of revenue, but it's not. It's affecting a lot more than that, almost double.
No, that's not
Okay.
I
correct.
don't see the document, I don't know which document
I'm
I'm
looking
referencing.
here, here.
Well, how do you know this wasn't because we had 2 houses burned down last year?
Once again,
Again, it's not adding up to me logically, it's not logical.
Okay,
None
let me-
of it. But we
okay,
can go on. I'm willing to go on and not really get over it, but
okay, just
step
real,
away
okay,
from
just,
it.
So
just real
what I
quick,
had-
yeah.
Wait, if you take the 221, I'm not sure what she gave y'all, because I think she gave you something different than what I have.
221.
I think it shows the 221.
No, they got this.
221,
That's-
103.
Yeah, they got that.
Can we put what we're referencing up on the TV so we're all reading off the same sheet of music?
Josh, I didn't get to do that. I didn't get you. All I have is just the budget, because I was on the phone with them, till close to
So,
earlier.
the way it works to figure the levy,
She told me about this.
yeah.
Okay,
So
that
if you
document.
look on your total sheet,
Which sheet?
The certified totals.
the certified totals,
Okay.
underneath here,
This is page 1?
yes,
Okay.
it's got your approximate, on page 3, but page 4. Which, that's showing the 221 and it's showing actually times the 49 cents. If you take the 221 times your, if you set the effective rate. 806. But that is only what's been approved. That's not counting the 55 properties that are still under protest, so that will go up. But if you use even just the 221 times, if you use your effective rate of 55 cents, it gives you, sorry, work a lot better on the adding machine than a calculator.
Is that the no new revenue?
Yes, and the new revenue rate is the 55, 53.
So that comes out to 1,227,000.
I have 1,116,789. And then if you add the freeze, which is those taxes from last year at the 22 rate, the 207 to it, it gives you a total levy of 1,003,300.
Oh, so that'd be the 0.06% though.
Yeah,
On the colorful sheet that Dora sent us earlier today.
yeah.
I assume this one with all the highlighted rows on it.
No, she's talking about this.
No, I know what she's talking about. I'm saying all of the highlighted rows that
Yeah,
you send
the
us.
numbers
Yeah.
she's giving us is this.
This is where you've simplified it for us.
That's what what we sent you this afternoon.
Okay, I just need to make sure 'cause numbers aren't matching up anywhere. I'm actually in Debbie's camp for the 15th time.
We only went off the 221, the
Right,
221.
the stuff that's actually approved.
Right. Because in talking to Donette and Melissa, they were trying to get together to figure out what needed to be added to the 221 million.
Which would, I think she's got it in her worksheet.
Melissa, you said it was 21?
21.5.
I'm sorry?
To add to the 221 million, you said it was a 21 to use the one from your worksheet?
21,509,735.
Yes. So that wasn't added, Josh, because we weren't aware by the time that I got here. They were still talking on the phone.
I believe.
So what we're saying,
So then your net taxable, after, or freeze adjusted taxable would then be, instead of the 221, it'd be 242, 613, 541.
okay. Okay,
And then if you do that times your rate, it's 1.3 million and then almost 1.35, 1.347. And then you're gonna add 207,000 to that, because that's the properties that are frozen as of today. You'll add that, because that tax doesn't change, because they froze out. So you add that to your levy, so it gives you a total levy of 1.5.
And what percentage rate is that?
That's not a percentage. That's what the
The
0.55. That's using
Okay.
the no new revenue rate,
Okay.
the lowest rate.
Okay.
I thought the 221,103,806 was the adjusted with the freeze out of that already.
Right, that's what the freeze, but to figure your levy, you have to put the freeze back in. That's what at the bottom.
I'm just trying to figure out what our revenue is gonna be, not all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, it's about 1.5 is what the tax would be at the 0.5553.
Yeah,
Your
but
lowest
that's if we
effective
were to
rate,
do that.
no new revenue rate.
So to summarize for my own benefit, okay, the over 65 taxable property was 44.8 million. What is the DP on the freeze here?
Disabled person,
Got it, okay. So that was already there, or is that part of our new?
that's part of the new.
Okay, all right, so we have frozen,
That's included in the 47 million.
right. So we froze the actual tax amount, not the actual taxable value.
Right.
Okay, so the amount is never going to change. So this is a formula that shows where it comes into play. So
To figure the effective tax rate, you pull that out, because you're not guaranteed that at the rate that you're giving
Right, right. Okay, so that affected $47.5 million dollars worth of property. Okay, so when all is said and done, this property tax freeze, okay, and that 47 million, that's not gonna get in addition to, okay, that's a taxable, but it's gonna be at a much lower rate. It's gonna be at a lower
Right,
rate.
at the rate of
Okay.
2022, the 49 cents.
Yeah, because it was frozen, okay? And that is gonna be a net decrease of between $25,000 to $30,000 on our actual revenue.
Right, on the, yes.
Yeah, so which is very close to what was projected when they said approximately 26 or so. So that ends up being 7-8% difference, which I would say is within reason as far as the projection. So the amount of revenue that we're going to lose is not double. It's very close to what was projected prior to when we decided to pass the exemption. Correct? Thank you.
Jordan, do you have your Excel made based off of the value you have in the top right corner, or do you have to manually recalculate everything in there?
You're talking about this right here?
Talking about what's up on the TV.
Oh, the budget?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can put numbers in if you want to do numbers.
I guess my question here is, walk with me on this one. Our max tax rate we go to is 0.061 without triggering a voter approval, yeah? If we did that and earmarked all the additional revenue brought in with that to apply towards another water tower over at Walmart, I can't imagine too many people would be super upset with knowing we're actually investing in infrastructure that ensures we have.
Do you realize it's not gonna pay for that? It's barely gonna pay for what's on our budget now.
If we increase it,
Even if we were to increase it, you're only getting about $100,000 to $150,000 more.
right, so after
That does not
3
pay for a
years,
water
I'm
tower.
aware of the fact it doesn't pay for it, but we've saved up that money over 3 to 5 years. I don't know if you can bankroll it, but at least you save it and you earmark
okay,
it.
We need
so
to-
You're talking about a water tower for Walmart?
Yep.
Okay, that would come out of the water, not the general fund.
Oh, you can't do that at all?
No, that's out
But-
of the water.
Question, let's stay on task here. Okay, right now we're reviewing the tax rates and the
Yep.
tax revenue and so forth. Not what we can do with it yet. Okay, so we need to have a clear understanding of all this, which is what the agenda says. Okay, and then we go to budget workshop.
Okay, well, I can't in good faith vote on or even support a tax rate if I don't know where we're spending the money on it. That's
Well,
my-
that's not what we're doing right now. Okay,
Okay.
all right, we're just hearing the numbers and the
You're
reasons.
hearing the numbers, you're hearing the
so forth.
bottom line. The numbers, whatever the bottom line is, everything that scrolls up, the numbers ain't gonna lie at the bottom, you know?
The
I
numbers
mean,
are
I
still
sold cars for
hazy.
13 years. Somebody told me they wanted to be out of the door 22,800. I'll start down from the bottom and work my way up. Blaring taxes, all the taxes on there. It's gotta be the same thing almost. on
Yeah,
this.
yeah, so we're just getting an understanding of how our tax rate was adopted. Okay, the maximum and the minimum
Okay,
and
sorry, I
so
thought we were
forth.
coming to a soft consensus on a tax rate. right
Well, there's
now.
nothing we can do just yet.
So Melissa,
That'll be later.
Ma'am?
because they just got everything this afternoon, they still, because we have a meeting next week, they could have time to review this, and then we could on next Tuesday, they can just, if they want, they can decide then what tax rate they're looking at.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this doesn't have to be decided this evening. I mean, we can until we debate our budget and everything. So this is just giving us the parameters that we have to work within.
Okay.
So, that being said, the unused increment rate, what is that referring to again? Would that be the monies that are getting challenged,
Yes.
the property values?
That would be if you had not, like if you had set your effective rate or below every year, then you would have unused increments that you would be available to add to this year's tax rate,
Okay,
and y'all don't have that.
Okay.
I don't think any of my taxing entities actually have that, so
okay.
disregard that part.
Okay, so last year's tax rate that was adopted was driven down by property values and sales tax revenue?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Okay, so it was at the max that it was going to be last year?
No.
It was actually over the voter approval, but below the de minimis. So there was potential for a petition, didn't happen, so it went ahead and passed.
Got it. Okay. All right. What else, anybody? Any other questions as far as our parameters of tax and how they came at it and such? No? Okay, all right. That'll close agenda item number 2, but related agenda item number 3, review of 2023 appraisal roll certified by Medina County Appraisal District. Is that what we just did? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So we got them all combined together. Okay. Are there any more questions, guys? While we have the powers to be in front of us.
Not right now.
Okay. All right. You have anything else to give us? All right. Okay. Well, that takes care of agenda item number 3. Thank you so much for coming to help us out.
Thank you.
Okay, and what's your name, Melissa? Melissa, thank you so much.
Not a problem, thanks for having me. If I can be of any additional service, just let me know.
All right, will do. Y'all have a great
Have a
evening.
Great night.
Yeah, do y'all have any other questions? Or if you can touch with me, I can have answers next week, or if you need to come next week, I can come next week.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much. Did you want to?
We've got them, actually.
Oh,
They
you
gave
have
us,
them?
no,
Oh,
they
they
gave
all
us
give-
a
okay.
copy, yeah.
Oh, I
Just
see.
now.
That was another
Now.
copy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that moves us to agenda item number 4, budget workshop. Okay, free discussion. To start off with, once again, we got some great information this evening. It's going to probably change everything that we discuss. We're going to need time to digest this. The numbers you gave us, as far as and what have you, are based on what?
I'm sorry?
The numbers you gave us on the current the proposed budget is based on what?
So the changes that y'all got, on the capital outlay, they are, well, what's in here, and I try to put little notes on the side for y'all to look at where the changes are coming from. So for the police department, they're only doing the 2 Tahoes, they're not gonna do the truck. And then he got quotes on the portable building. And so that portable building we put 47,000, so 4 departments are gonna pay for it: water, sewer, street, and parks. So they're in the general fund. You see it under street, you see it under park, and then when you go into your water and sewer, you'll see it under water and sewer. So those were the changes. And yes, and they took their 2 trucks. Pete and Simon met and said, if they'd rather have the building because they need a building.
Yeah, I think it's more important for a building than the truck. We can do another year without trucks.
So I got a question. What do we do with the police department's vehicles when we rotate them out, since we're getting 2 new ones?
I think what y'all talked about at the last meeting, I think the one that they were gonna rotate out, they were gonna give to the airport.
Yep. What do we normally, what are we gonna do with the other one?
They normally park them and then,
Animal control shelter for option.
and then do an auction.
So instead of auction, couldn't we give that to these guys, since they're foregoing a vehicle this year? I doubt we're gonna get a whole lot out of an auction.
Most of our Tahoes and need quite a bit of work on them, so I think they park after, I think someone have oil leaks and stuff.
You're just not interested then? Okay,
So,
okay.
But you can use it kind of like a fleet truck, when y'all's vehicle breaks down, y'all can use that,
right, yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's possible.
That'd be the best thing.
And I called the USDA today just to verify. I said, is whenever a vehicle's done, even grant money or not, as soon as it's paid off, we're ready to get rid of it, we're good to use it for whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
But it sounds like you're not real interested in this, Pete.
Pete,
What's that?
It sounds like you're not real interested in this vehicle. I tend to be in alignment with Mike's view there. But what's, I guess, what's the background that maybe we're not seeing?
Police unit.
On the Tahoes? Well, I mean, you know, it's possible we can use them. I was just thinking for what, but yeah, if we have to park one, we can use one of those for something, yeah.
Okay.
What kind of, I don't assume it brings in too much money at auction when you have cars with that much mileage on them.
How much it has.
yeah, we have to go back and.
What year is it?
Somewhere like
I think
2008.
we're trying to rotate the,
$4,000, probably.
Yeah, one of them had like 250,000 miles on it. The other was 130, I think. They were up there in miles for sure.
the ones in the.
So yeah, they're probably not bringing much in at auction.
Yeah, I would use it as a fleet truck. Right now, the way the economy is, the way parts and material
Yep.
are on back order and everything else. I mean, I got 2 trucks sitting at Frio Chevrolet right now because they got towed in from Cotulla there, which is near their dealership. And parts are, man, the truck's been there for about a month. They're just waiting on some small items, you know?
I would think we need to prepare for some severe economic contraction all around. So I'm in agreement with you.
So with, of course, with all the news that we got today, y'all need to let me know, I mean, y'all see what, where we're at in the general fund. If we need to go back and, go back and relook at everything,
Everything.
just let us know.
Well, I took the first page, and this is before I knew about that extra 21,509,000 and whatever. I just took the 221,106, whatever it was, and put that into the tax revenue instead of the one we thought it was going to be on the first line. So that very first line would be 2,941,283.
Instead of what?
Instead of, I don't know, because I don't have that in front of me. Hold on.
Instead of the 3,000,000.
Yes, instead of that.
201?
Yes, the budget update. Let me look at that real quick. Machine, it doesn't want to pull it up. There we go. Yes, instead of the 3,201,701, that's actually gonna be with the 221 million without the extra, it would come out to 2,941,283.
Okay, just real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is based on 4913 in the tax rate. The spreadsheet that you have, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm keeping apples to apples.
Okay.
So I left it at that. I added the 221 blah, 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 blah in there. So my question is, well, I didn't add 221. I added the 1,000,008. That's what, I'm sorry, I skipped a step.
Okay.
Using the 221,103,806 and using the 4913 tax rate, I used the 1,086,283 and popped that in instead of the whatever we had before there. Oh, that would have been this sheet. This gets so darn confusing. 1,335,378. Anyway, I changed it. Okay, I changed it, and it comes out.
All right.
We will be at a deficit of 58,542 if nothing changes on here. And then you add the $130,000 capital outlay, that puts us at a deficit of 188,542. Okay, that's keeping the tax rate. I'm all about keeping the same tax rate because I think we should live within our means of this tax rate. As everybody heard in June, how nobody in this town wants a tax raise. Tax rate, no raises. if everybody paid attention to our public hearings and everything that was being said, no tax raises. So that's what I'm trying to work at, get us in that
Which
same,
public hearings are you referring to?
both of them,
The,
for the bond. When we were talking about the bond.
for the drainage
The
bond?
drainage project.
Yes, for the,
Okay.
if you listen to what was said in our public meetings for the bond, for the public meetings said at the school district for their bonds, there wasn't a person there saying, we wanna raise taxes. That, they were all saying no to raising taxes. So I'm trying to figure out a way for us to live within our 4913 little bitty kind of world,
You
okay?
can always cut the library.
Well, we have.
You're not gonna have tires left. So I was coming up with this, that's what I'm saying. We're still $188,000 in the hole if we keep the raises at 6%, 4%, if we keep 2 Tahoes, if we keep, what's the other thing I had on here? The raises, somewhere we gotta find $300,000 to get rid of, just so we have a surplus at the end.
Hey Pete, Simon, when's the last time you guys were fully staffed?
Been a long time. Been a while, I mean,
I started in '03, and I believe we had,
about 14 of us, I think.
So we could probably cut 2 positions. And you wouldn't know a difference. Sorry?
For up to 2 positions?
I think there are 4 of them vacant. That's what I'm asking, like, have they ever
They
actually
just
all been
hired a
filled?
mechanic, he started on
Monday,
Monday.
he started Monday.
Just looking at your vacancies on the actual sheet there.
So that would only leave the park vacant and 1 in the water, and 1 in sewer. That would leave the 3.
Like, I know that's a terrible idea, it's a perfectly reasonable response.
we have to maintain the park.
That's worse than
Right,
even
but
I came up with.
If they're vacant
Getting rid of
positions and they've
people,
always
my
been
goodness.
vacant.
We should quit
Wait,
buying airport.
where did I say get rid of people?
You said cut 2 positions.
Oh,
Okay, but
he
they've
thought
got
he was talking
4
about the
that are-
employees that are already here. There's 11 employees. He was thinking of cutting 2. No, whatever is vacant on that sheet that he has
Just
there,
not
let's
replace
not
them.
replace it. You know,
That would take off some money, some,
We
not a
could do
lot.
that from, if you just take off 2 off of streets and all that stuff, they still have 2 more vacancies that, if they can fill them. And I think we've got 3 vacant in the front office, take 1 off of there, I mean, you're stacking on money at least, it's about $90,000. Plus the overhead cost of those employees, that probably gets close to about 100.
I would like to interject one thing, please. Referring to citizens at the public hearings, okay, that I attended and so forth. Clearly, nobody ever wants their taxes to go up. That's a given. But the inference that I got from those meetings, okay, from the 8 or 10 people that were there, okay, was they didn't want a tax increase for the purpose that it was being suggested. In other words, that was the inference that I got, because it was substantial for the 15 million plus 4 million in interest. Okay, here we're talking about the actual operation of our city. This isn't a bonus thing for 100-year flood or anything like that. So remember, the last 2 or 3 years, what's going on in our economy, okay? We as a city government, we are also paying more, just like the personal people at home, okay? The city's paying more for gas, the city's paying more for health insurance, the city's paying more for supplies, the city's paying more for air conditioning, all right, the phone, everything. So please remember that, okay? Now, the tax rate that remains the same, in essence, is still a slight increase because your property values have gone up, okay? So, that being said, but the effective tax rate, or the no new revenue tax rate, right, is 55. That's a
Still an
6-cent
increase
difference.
to our
Okay,
tax
so,
base.
so once again, I'm not saying go to that. I'm just trying to point these things out because, all right, Public Works is 4 people short. Well, those positions are there for a reason, because they're needed. Okay, Public Works, like I said last week, those guys are the backbone of the operations of this city. Without them, we're screwed. Okay, so please remember that. Okay, those are valuable positions, and I don't think you should be cutting in that area. Okay, That's my opinion.
Please let me reiterate, I'm not asking to get rid of people, I'm asking to get rid of persistently empty positions.
Well, they're persistently empty not because they're not needed. They're persistently empty because we can't attract the talent.
And if we can cut two of four persistently empty to increase the pay across the board for all the other positions, maybe we can actually fill those other two.
Well, we're saving money now, and nobody's hired taking that position. You know?
Well, like I said,
You know, in reality, you're right, Mike.
Yeah, we're saving money now, we're not paying nobody.
But we can't budget to increase the pay of the folks that are there.
But just leave it alone, just a cushion.
so I would ask Public
You know?
Works Director, okay, can you evaluate if you could get by without those extra 2 positions from now on?
With the contractor being here, it's
Exactly.
really hard. Yeah.
Right. So they need people. Okay, we need to attract talent. Okay, we need to have a product that's going to attract talent. You go taking away and cutting in that particular area, and you're not going to get it. You're not going to get all the other stuff that we need in this town. So,
How long has those positions been open?
Since I started in 2003, hasn't seen them all filled.
Well, they come and go.
No, I'm
We
pretty sure
had
they do.
16 workers.
Yeah, it was 6.
That's when, we had all 16 workers. And we left the 6.
But it's been a while now.
It's been a long time.
And my point isn't to say that you never get them back. It's just if for how many years we haven't filled them, and we could increase the pay until we can hopefully then put a little more love into the town here and increase our tax base, then it makes sense to expand again. But,
You know, like we were saying, it's just the contractors. I mean, right now, I wanted to have my own sewer department so they can, you know, do the sewer and everything, but with the contractor being here, I'm behind on sewer tabs, water tabs, it just, you know, and then like when we get a good rain, then we got street department going at the same time, so it's kind of hard.
Well, right now it's dry, so there's no need,
Right.
no cutting grass at the parks or anything like that. But
Yeah.
let's say God blesses us next month with a whole bunch of rain and everything else, grass starts growing, then we're gonna be in a bind.
Right.
We already contract, was it Mr. Lopez, Mr. Pena, up at the
Munoz.
airport? Munoz, there you go.
Munoz.
I'm sorry. Mr. Munoz already for mowing the lawn up, mowing the whole airport over there. Do you think that we could hire a company to come in and take care of both parks? I mean, it's not much land. I mean, if we spend $12,000 for the whole year, I mean, that's nothing, depending on the dollars.
we got 19,000, I believe, right now at the
Yeah,
airport.
so that's 20 grand that he's getting right now,
I love contracting services. You've got my support there.
you know? Yeah, we can hire somebody to help maintain it. It takes a little bit off their shoulder,
Yep.
you know?
Well, it is a contracted service.
Not for the parks. No, he's saying for the parks here.
Oh,
Now for the
okay.
park area, yeah.
Okay.
And granted, you have to also take into account that is all city-owned property, so all of where the sidewalk should be, we have to maintain that as well.
Well, that's something that you could obviously compare and evaluate, but it would seem to be the same thing that you just said about grass is not growing, et cetera, right now.
Yeah.
So that means that Pete doesn't have to use that manpower over there
No,
right
I
now. He
don't.
can use it on other things, and he's still short people.
Yeah.
See, so I don't.
No, you can pull that guy in, he's not gonna be cutting grass every day out the park.
The lack of labor
It
is
does.
a phenomenon across the nation now. I know plenty of construction companies just shutting down because they can't find anyone to work, so I don't know that it's a unique to us problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's unique to us at all.
Oh, of course not. Of
Yeah.
course, it's not unique to us. It's everywhere.
I think it is an everywhere problem. Sometimes even money can't buy you that,
Sure
to
can.
get out of that problem, so I think we should just leave them open, and if we don't use them, we don't, you know.
I'm trying to think of ways to pay the people that are willing to work. We all agree that is a big priority for us. Number one, the people that are willing to work here, how do we get them some more money? So
You can start paying $21 an hour and hire somebody tomorrow. It doesn't mean that they're gonna enjoy the job that you're gonna put them in. They can quit the next day. You know, some of them, these kids now, these younger generation, not used to the heat.
Oh, they're just not used to working.
we don't need to bash on an entire generation.
No, I'm just
One
telling
day,
you.
No, but that is where,
We have some
what we're getting,
employees.
yes.
Let's pay some of those employees more dollars.
I would like to too, and when we started this last year, the 6-4 split, it was to stair step people up, because we talked about this last week a little bit. I don't have a problem giving 6 and 4% raise, but we obviously are not gonna have the money with this new fandangled formulas. So I'm thinking maybe we're gonna have to go to 4 and 2%. Because I remember many years just in my 4 that we only gave 2%, 2 times in a row. Like horrible raises, like Garrett, I agree with you, but that's all we had the money for. So I'm not saying I don't think they don't deserve it. I'm saying we might have to bite the bullet and give them 4 and 2. At least they're getting a raise.
2% of $15 is 30 cents.
I'm just saying, we might have to bite the bullet, because 6% is on
That's $9.
90 cents.
90 cents, yes, 15.
So it would be 45-cent raise. So, I'm just saying, we might have to think about that. I don't particularly want to, but if we keep the 6 and 4, then we're not getting Tahoes. We might not be able to get a building. Like, we might not be able to get armor. We might not be able to, like, there's a lot of things, it just cascades. So if we
Well, that's
wanna
true.
keep something here, we're gonna have to give something here. It's a give and take, and I'm working on keeping us at 4913.
What if we-
I'm not going to ever,
Regardless if we pass it or not, if we pass it, we're gonna be paying more on the tax rate. And that's, even if we pass it and we look like the bad people, we still gotta pay for that tax rate. You know, right now, that 4913, I think we may need to go,
I personally never vote for it to go above 4913, but y'all can.
Right.
Like, I know I'm only one vote, but I'm telling you, this is where I'm working at. I want to keep us within our means.
we gotta
I have-
we gotta travel with the economy the way it's all going. Everything's going up, I mean,
I hear you.
you know?
We have 9 employees that have been with us for greater than 1 year and make less than $40,000. If we gave them between 3 and 8%, depending on, because the amount of money they're making is it's across the board a little bit, and the number of years they've been with us. I would want the approval of department heads to say this person really deserves a raise, but just to get them all closer to 40,000, it would cost us $23,900. I've got all built out on a spreadsheet. I'm happy to share around.
Yeah, but that,
The people that make that already, are they gonna get a raise that much?
This wouldn't bring them up to $40,000 because they're still making.
the
still
librarian
making
right here
less.
makes less than the ladies over there at the office. And she
Huh?
does everything.
I didn't hear you.
Librarian.
The librarian, the head librarian, what does she make? I mean, well, I don't wanna say it out loud, but she makes a whole lot less than what the people at the city hall makes.
I concur. I
And
have
she does
for
her own,
8%
she does
raise.
her own grants and everything else. So I'm pretty sure she's put in 50 hours, and she should be up there with the ladies at the city hall.
So again, trying to get her up to 40,000, an 8% raise for her. She's also been here for 7 years. So
It was
an increase of 2,800. I don't disagree with you. I
Yeah.
hear you, but
because
And the
when I
right
got home and I
possibility.
started looking at everything, what she did and what she does for the library and how she does her own. We got grant writers and she's doing her own stuff. You know, I mean, yeah, she's one of the main ones I would help out.
she's on my list.
And I don't even know her that well. I mean, I've been to the library once in the last 10 years.
Airport manager's on there, the custodian's on there.
Airport manager's part-time.
I'm aware, but that doesn't mean we can't pay them more for the quality of work they put in.
I have a suggestion. Okay, we have a proposed budget, especially, okay, let's just deal with revenue, all right? So, once again, the numbers might be a little skewed as far as the taxes, the tax amounts that we're going to collect. But how about let's look at the proposed increase, decrease, okay? So for example, permits and licenses, we're expecting to get $7,700 less this year, correct?
Where are you looking at?
on the general fund financial summary,
Yeah,
Uh,
each line item.
permits and licenses. Okay, budget request, okay, is rise for less than the previous year, great, okay? But why? Why would it be so much less? Why would we expect to bring in less on permits and licenses? Is that what I'm seeing? Am I reading it wrong?
Full-time code.
I'm seeing that too.
Okay, so the beer and license, we went up. So right now, the year-to-date is 3668. That's what we have collected as of, when I did the revenue versus expense, and I plugged them in that column. So,
Okay.
and we upped it to 5,000.
Okay, I don't see that.
Yeah, me either.
That'll be on the.
Oh, she has a full budget up there. We only
On the
have
outlay?
first few pages.
Do you see it?
I can't read it.
So you see
No.
where it says 306,
Which?
322
Which?
beer licenses?
Which?
Right underneath where you said permanent licenses.
Well, I don't have my other
We
glasses.
don't have this copy.
Oh, well, then we're spinning our wheels. Okay, that's in,
This would have been.
that's
on-
under operating revenue?
This
Yeah,
would have
this is
been
the revenue
what she
for
sent us
general fund.
Friday.
Yeah. So
Well, I'm looking at that, I thought.
right there. So we went up on that one. Now, on the building and permits, we're year-to-date right now, 42,669. We're not done, we left it at 42, but that's not to say we can't increase it. But right now, year-to-date, we're 42,669, year-to-date. So we can increase that one. And then the miscellaneous permits, we're at 1110, and we've increased it to 1,500.
This is all projections though, right?
What's a
All of
miscellaneous
it's
permit?
projected.
Everything is, what? I'm
What's,
sorry?
what's a miscellaneous permit? Peddlers, like someone has a food truck that wants to go over here?
I don't, that's gonna be your, like, garage sale permits,
How much is that right now?
$20.
$20.
Yeah, nobody gets them.
And how much is,
Or solicitor's permit, which is $30 or $10.
so the people that, when they have the, oh my God, they would just sit this Saturday, this
Garage
Sunday.
sale?
The what?
No,
Garage
the
sale?
marketplace?
The marketplace.
Oh.
Do they pay?
No, that's different.
City
They don't have to pay.
event.
No, because I wouldn't want to charge them. I mean, they're coming out
No,
here.
we
bringing-
don't charge them for that.
Okay.
That's a Divine Market Association deal.
Do they
that we
pay Divine
approve.
Market?
I'm sorry?
Do the people that sit up here, do they pay Divine Market?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a whole separate entity than garage sale or.
When did you send that? You said Friday?
No, what, I sent y'all the budget, I sent this, last night to y'all.
Oh.
Okay, so
that's right,
I should have it in my email.
Yeah, I sent.
Then
the
I'm
budget.
not looking in the right place. I got budget for amended and new budget for 8/8. Is that what it
It
is?
says attached is the
I
budget.
sent it, I don't know, it
Click
was
on
like
that.
9 something, when I sent it to y'all
did.
last night, and I put.
And I'm not
this
finding
is
her
budget
numbers.
Down
for
to line
tomorrow
90.
meeting.
Oh, no, that's not it, no.
See?
Yeah, I don't really know.
I don't think I have it.
Yeah, I don't have that.
It came in.
Detailed new budget, detailed
Like
revenue.
around, I forget what time.
I was
she
talking
sent
about
it.
operating revenue.
Oh, 8:48 is when I got mine.
Yes.
That's
This
expenditure.
This is it,
Oh,
I
okay,
think, you
it's
just
like-
don't have like the
okay.
line numbers
Yeah,
on,
I don't like that. I can't
It came in
understand.
around 8:45 to 8:50 PM.
Okay, I got, and the thing I'm looking at, I got operating revenue. Okay, permits and licenses,
Did you find it?
I don't see proposed on this. I just see in 2022-23. I don't see proposed for 2024.
go back to your one,
Huh?
go back to your
Oh,
one.
next tab. You're on the first tab, you go to the second tab.
Yeah, okay, that's
Oh,
it, yes, okay,
detailed
so click
new
on it one more
budget
time.
On the bottom, on the very
Now the
very
two
bottom.
tabs,
Detail remaining, detailed new budget.
there it is.
Okay. So where's the project, oh, it's right here, budget request, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so we got permits and licenses, you're requesting, okay, you're projecting to bring in $7,000 less
I mean, that sounds
on
realistic.
permits and license.
Oh,
construction materials have increased, I mean, the cost of everything has increased, business is contracting. I don't know why we would expect an increase in permits. It
Okay.
seems reasonable to have a contraction there.
Yeah, I went to Lowe's this week and it was, I wouldn't want to build a house right now.
Okay, all right, so we're expecting things to slow down. Okay, so we put in a buffer of probably,
And that's where I was saying, like, for building permits, the year-to-date right now is 42,669 that we have received.
correct,
And so, right now, we left it at 42,000, but that's not to say that we're gonna leave it there, we're gonna be.
Okay.
We have several budget workshops that we may, after inputting more of this, we can see what we can bump it. But again, to go back, not just to last year, we kind of look at the trend from,
I got you.
Inco and seeing, you know, Inco's not gonna lie to you, it's gonna tell you what is everything for
I got you.
that line item.
right, I got you. So last budget was expecting approximately $56,000, and right now, okay, we're sitting at 47,000, and chances are, what you
Yeah.
got,
Yeah.
September,
And we-
October, 4 months, you know, in these 4 months, we may or may not come close to that $56,000.
Correct.
Okay, so,
And that, y'all are looking at the amended, we not remember, if y'all have, you're looking at y'all worksheet, y'all have 2 tabs, y'all have the detail remaining, which is the current budget that we're under.
yeah,
Okay, we're gonna be starting to work on that, on the budget. That number right there, the column that you're talking about, which that's gonna change.
I understand. Okay, so to me right now, until we get all these exact figures and all the work that she needs to do to help us on this, perhaps we could just, like I said, look at the revenue, get a feel for everything, because that's what I'd like to do. You know, this came in last night, I didn't get a chance to really
Right.
look at it.
Basically, this is a living document
Yeah.
until like the 3rd week of September.
Sure.
It's gonna change until then.
Right, but you're gonna,
Literally.
yeah, but you could be close. Okay, so here, once again, bear with me. So we got services and charges of, okay, we're projecting $22,000 less of revenue.
And I have not. Okay, so waste disposal, that's what I wanted to let y'all know, on waste disposal, Republic is going up 4%. Last year, they went up 4%, and y'all had us do 2% for the customers. So it didn't go, we didn't just use the 4% and bring it to the customers and do their 4%. Because remember, we get charged a certain amount, and then we charge the customers.
So we shared the increase.
Yeah, we took.
Last
the-
year, we only, the council, said that, of course, Republic went up 4% on us, but with the customer, we only went up 2%. That's what I need to know, because I've not put anything in there.
Okay.
If y'all are wanting us to do what y'all did last year, or go up the 4%.
Okay, and then other, we're expecting 42,000 less. So I guess other is just, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm going there.
Okay.
Which row?
It's just the next one, down, it's below services and charges, other. Okay, we're expecting
Total operating expense.
$42,000 less.
Right here. No, I pushed something I didn't want to. Hold on. Just don't hit save.
Oh yeah, the Tahoe, they're getting rid of is 115,000 miles. Stand corrected. Not all surveillance speeds.
Oh, look who's doing what.
Okay, so let me do
Who does y'all's uniform services?
this. service,
Service Plus?
service uniform.
Is Unifer still around? Have y'all?
We had it a couple years ago.
I would be curious, what services we are currently contracting that are located in Devine versus not.
I don't think there's anybody in Divine
That does uniforms.
uniforms.
They wash them?
Who's gonna do that?
Oh, I'm asking if it's like a laundry service or if
It's a
they're.
laundry
So
service.
they
Yeah.
bring in clean ones and take the dirty
Yeah.
ones.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
I don't know.
uniform service company.
Well, I'm bringing this up, I did have James come, our IT person, because I know Josh, you had some questions, and so he's here. I know he sent, I sent y'all his contract.
Yep.
So I didn't know, he was here, James, wanna come up? Just in case any of y'all had any questions of him, and I know that, I know some of y'all had some questions like on rack space and all of that, so we can kind of go over.
And I did get some quotes on if you guys wanted to do an exchange server in-house. So where you would manage your own email server and also would require security upgrades for the network if you were to do so. Which I did get them, but they wouldn't really give me a lot of info. They wanted to do a compliance assessment, which is like ranges between like $5,000 and $15,000 just to come out to see.
So they can run some Nexus scans and say, do you have vulnerabilities?
Right.
Yeah, and they wouldn't even give me the number, like straight number. So I finally got it out of them. Look, I got all the numbers if you decide you think you'd want to do that.
What is the difference? So what I'd really like to do is, I definitely prefer services over maintaining your own hardware, just disperse the cost a little bit. What I don't want to see happen again is anything we've got not have offsite backups. That's a
When you go to the cloud and you're on an Exchange server or something that is like Rackspace, you don't hold the equipment, so you're doing what you said you wanted to do by going offsite. If you hold the hardware, you are the ones responsible. You do the backups and you maintain it. The reason that server went down was because they failed to update and they failed to do a lot of their servicing on their servers.
Yep.
Which caused them to crash.
right, but in the contract there has to be some obligation for them to maintain offsite backups.
I believe they are. There is a lawsuit going on with it. And I believe their backups got corrupted also with it. Like I said, we didn't lose it all. We lost a window. And I believe they did stop it like in the middle of the process, but a lot of that, it got whacked. It got hard.
So how much? I guess what did we lose then? Because at first it was we did have backups, then we didn't have any backups, and now we have some backups.
Okay, so we had backups that were on Door's machine and certain machines that happened, but everybody that was logging in like remotely off-site, that is going through the cloud server. So that's the
Yep.
Exchange server that's on the cloud, which is through them. Door was backing up a certain amount since it goes way back. But the part that got affected on their server, it basically took a chunk out of that affected data. So Door has stuff prior to that and right after that, but the hackers got a little chunk of it.
What was the ransom request on that? Just curious.
I don't even know what it was. They didn't give a lot of information there. I believe the lawyers are still talking. I think they're gonna get sued. So, I'm surprised they're still actually up there.
Okay.
And what we did, initially, we went from that exchange to 365, which is still cloud-based.
Well,
It's
I
not your own server, so.
Cloud's a relative term. I mean, as long as it's a competent service provider who has essentially striping across multiple sites, I mean, as long as you get the data duplication, that you're reducing your probability for data loss.
Yeah, and they do it, and they're probably better than most 365, but that is not saying that they can't.
Well, no debate there. Nothing. Never say never. Never say
The
always.
federal government gets attacked quite often.
What was the time frame that we lost with Rackspace again?
It looked like, from what I saw, and there were some that were kind of in there that we had just, I guess they were just saved like locally on a machine. It looked like it was about July. until the end of the
2022?
year. Yeah.
July 2022
Yeah.
to when?
About the end of the year, so I would say probably December-ish. Now, there were some in there, I know we were looking for specific emails. There were some in there that looked like they had gotten saved to a computer. Now, if you go in and save the computer, save them directly to your computer off the Exchange server,
Yeah.
they're with you forever.
Yep.
So, I mean, that part is not so bad if you can do that, but, we don't typically do that.
It's a lot of memory.
It's usually if you're gonna save it and then print it out, and, you know, that process. But typically, most people don't do that. Most people just read it, put it into a folder on the left-hand side or wherever on your.
Well, I mean,
Outlook.
it's the difference between having a host-based client and the web client. I get it.
Yes, and the exchange, if you were to host it, it gets very expensive. And is that something you want to look at? Because I do have the pricing here. So.
Not if it's very expensive, doesn't sound good to me.
Yeah, it's not too much, yeah. So for the exchange server, for the actual exchange software for the enterprise level is $4,400 for the software for Microsoft. So that's the actual program. And what I priced out from Dell would be a $6,000 server, which would be the database that would hold the emails. And then it would probably cost Dell, so it would cost them about $5,000 to set it up. I think I could set it up for probably nothing. Probably. I can just do all that for you. But so that'd be about $10,000-ish to get the exchange server set up on site. The problem is when you do that, you're putting a big old red flag on you, and that would mean cybersecurity would need to go through the roof, and that is really getting big. From what I got from the San Antonio, and this is from 2 or 3 different people for cybersecurity, $27,000 a year for an annual. So this is so this is implementation for all the servers, and basically they monitor it. And this is with compliant with the NSIT, which is the National Institute of Standard Technology, which is all the cities are doing it now. And they actually have grants for it too, because a lot of people can't afford it. So there are grants that you can get to implement this kind of stuff into your to the cities, and of course cities and small countries. So that may be something you might want to look at later. And then also there's like annual penetration tests, which are all the cities do it, which are like the cheapest one I could find was about $4,500 a year.
That's stupid cheap.
And that's cost for what?
What is that?
The $4,500 is.
That is for penetration tests, and that's done per year. So what they do is they come out, and what they will do is they will try to basically break into your network and they look for holes.
Gotcha.
It's something that everybody does it. And I know it sounds, it's kind of one of those things that once you become compliant with it, you got to kind of like sit. So it comes into a policy. So what you do is you create a city policy, and it's implemented into it. But once you get into that, you have to abide by it.
You can't let
And
go.
you can't get out of it. Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of hard. It's kind of like OSHA, where once you start the standard, you abide by the standard, or else,
Always.
you know, and then I guess the second one,
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, can it get any creepier? Have people trying to. I know that.
yeah, that's basically it. And some of them are actually really expensive, but I guess if you get like the IBM, they're kind of like top of they were going up towards like $47,000 a year. That's for a mid-sized business. That's not even for like a large.
What are the costs for services?
For services of
Like actual Microsoft as a service, or Gmail, or whatever different host providers. I'm thinking
how much,
larger.
like exchange servers?
Yeah.
Like 365. I think we're only paying like $300, $400 a month for all our email servers. Is that what you're talking about for the exchange
Yes,
server?
but we're paying some third-rate company that isn't doing backups and.
Okay, no. So initially, and this was before I came in. This was way back.
This is when we had Doc.
Yeah, so Rackspace was the exchange server. Okay, so they had their own servers, and all the emails were going through those mailboxes.
Yep.
They crashed after 15 years or whatever. So they finally got hacked, and then what we did is they moved us from their exchange server to the 365 exchange server, which is through Microsoft. And those servers are being hosted by Microsoft.
So we're now on Microsoft.
We're on Microsoft.
Okay.
Yes.
We got
But
a discount?
yeah, we got it. Okay, so they gave us a discount because they kind of dropped. They're the ones that dropped the ball. So Rackspace gave us a discount because they moved us over. So we're getting a discounted rate. Normally, I believe what we have for all the emails and mailboxes, it would be about $900 a month. We're getting about 50% off. So, and I don't know how long that's going to last, but it's cheaper.
It is still cheaper.
And you add that, and that's per month, so if you add that up per year.
Is this
five-
Rackspace hosting Microsoft Exchange servers, or was
They
it
don't host
Microsoft?
it, they're reselling it to us.
Okay.
So yeah, so like I can do it too. I could say, oh, I want to sell you Office 365, and I put my name on the business,
Yep.
and then I would sell you a package, and then they are going to get cheaper because they're buying it in a bulk
Yep.
use, and then you would be able to get it, and I would sell it to you for like $2 more, times that by 1 million. Basically.
Right. Okay. I really like budgeting for, I guess, budget for the full amount then. But I like the idea of just staying with Microsoft. Microsoft Exchange is what
Yeah,
everyone's got.
I mean, it seems fine. Yeah, I mean,
And buy off that
the
rest.
others, oof, man, you're gonna really have to bite the bullet on some of that because.
One to maintenance is stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid stuff, it is, but once they get into the compliance stuff, then if something does happen, then you lose all your emails, but once they get into your system, they could go
Right.
from there, then they'll go to Encode, and then they're gonna go to credit card machine, then they're gonna go to the
Right.
police department, and then it's just gonna go, wow, it's gonna hit everything.
Yep.
Say no.
I concur.
Just say
So
no.
it gets really, really.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Real sticky when you do it. And with an Exchange server on site, then you're a red target, because they can see those packets coming in.
yeah.
They can see it.
Okay.
So we're safer at the Microsoft email.
Yeah.
Much
To a point, but remember, you are on the cloud.
Well,
But it is safer, it is safer than Rackspace. That's
I was gonna say Microsoft is a much more, I don't know, we trust them more than we would a Rackspace.
Yeah.
They have more to lose.
Yeah.
That's true, they do, they have a lot more to lose.
And then we also did move Network Solutions off of Network Solutions from the website, which is another issue that we were off on the server that could possibly be hacked as well, so that's over as well.
Okay. And did you gain positive control of our website?
Yes.
Okay.
And that took a month. That was terrible.
Okay. Did you hire the people you need to maintain the website?
I did, Jerry Derrick is basically the web designer and the builder. He's a
Okay.
coder, he's a military, ex-military guy, and I have him hired on with me. And he has been working to migrate, he rebuilt the entire server and moved it over to the new one. And if you get on there now, you'll notice how much faster it is.
It is
And he is also updating any documents that come in, so if the ladies need something over there, he sends it in and pushes it out, and the SSL is all done through it, so we're paying for the SSL for the security of the website. And then
It's
we're
like-
also doing the monitoring, and we're also doing the backups. So
Define
the problem
monitoring
was
for me.
before.
Define monitoring for me.
So monitoring is, we go through and check for basically spam. So when they come to your site, what they'll do is they'll hit your, with spam, so like coordinated spam.
Yeah.
And what we do is we block IP addresses, so you'll see stuff coming from, a lot of them is like Russian
Okay, Russia,
language.
yeah, and China.
Some other, yeah, you'll see it, it'll be completely different language. So what we do is we go in and manually go click, 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 and then ban those IP addresses. And then the month later, there'll be a new set of them from a different country, and they just kind of try to bing them off.
Would you folks be amenable to implementing something like WordFence? It's a really good security software, and it automates a lot of that stuff. That way, they're leveraging essentially cloud-based knowledge from a lot of different websites, so you get frontline, and you don't have to manually do that.
Yeah, we like to do it manually because it's just kind of like, I don't know, it seems better if you actually can go in and do it yourself. That way you know it's
I mean,
done.
it allows you to do both. It's only like $200 a year. It's a WordPress plugin. Works really well. Another question here is like for the SSL. I saw it's a line item on the contract here. Man, you just kind of install that and you're good to go. So
When you install it, but there's also the maintenance of it. So what we do is we do the maintenance of it, make sure it's on, like, it was off with Network Solutions for almost 3 years since 2017.
I believe that. I mean, you just gotta click the button, force HTTPS.
It wasn't that easy.
That's crazy.
It was managed by Network Solutions,
Right.
and we could not touch it.
Right.
And we bought it, and we were paying for it since 2017.
So you're no longer managed WordPress, though you are actually hosting.
It is a
Okay.
full-blown WordPress,
Okay.
and yeah, it's, we could, like, so we lost the planner and the scheduler, the calendar, and we're like, why did we lose it? Oh, we're no longer supporting it. And it was actually because the WordPress was so out of date, the plugins on WordPress could not be used.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, they were just out of date, and then the backup software was so out of date that we couldn't even run a backup of the server without
Right.
rebuilding
Speed
it,
updates.
because it was out of date, completely out of date.
Okay. Sorry, you were on a track there. I had to stop a few things there. Carry on.
Well, I think that was pretty much it. You know, the security of, if y'all were gonna do the exchange, if you're gonna stick with 365, you don't need to do the security. And then I guess everybody needs to, I guess we need to find a list of what we want to change. I know you had some stuff about documents and files that were gonna be, like, basically they fill out a form. on
Oh,
WordPress.
yeah. Just, I don't know,
Jerry can do that.
like ninja forms or something like that. Just
Yeah,
submit it
he-
and put in a
that too.
kismet so we don't get blown up with spam either.
Yeah, and some of those, do require for a premium, you're gonna have to pay a monthly fee for those to WordPress. You can build, I think Jerry actually can build some out.
Actually, ChatGPT will build that for you.
Yeah, I do.
It's pretty choice.
I tried, there's some holes in that, but yeah, you can use it as basic.
Anyway, yes, I know there were free form things. Just when doing that, please implement an anti-spam or.
We do have that on.
Okay. What? Okay.
But it's not catching them all, and it really does, they do, it's like a net. You know,
Yeah.
some get through and some does stop, and we do have the anti-spam mark on.
Okay. I just don't want the police department to get blown up with all the porn
Yeah,
sites and crap.
And we do have, yeah, we do have it to where all comments have to be approved before you go onto it.
Yep.
But what happens is, we've seen it, is whenever they target the site,
Yep.
they'll slow it down to the point, because it's just overloaded.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they'll do it, it's not really a person doing it, it's a computer, it's
A
just
bot,
constantly making, it's a bot, making comments
We'll move on.
on your site, and even though you don't see them, it's still doing that transaction, and it will slow the site down. If they target you, and they do target city government.
Okay.
So you're good with it now?
Yes, that is the solution I was looking for. That the contract just isn't very clear. So.
Well, it's been modified and edited as we went along, because initially when we first started, it was like 18 computers and one server. Now it went to phone server, we have time clock servers, we have the encode server, we have the credit card machine, that's on a server. We have a phone server now, which is a VoIP system, which we do that as well. So that, it's overdone quite a bit. And typically, on a monthly basis, we run about 75 hours of maintenance, and that's not counting coming in, fixing computers, and swapping hard drives out, repairing printer setups, data recovery if something happened with a crashed hard drive. That's actually not counted.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
all right.
Okay, we were on other, and the biggest thing in other is miscellaneous expense.
Okay, so on the miscellaneous revenue, I have it up there, I'm on
Thank you,
Eagle right
James.
now. So this is your garage sale permits. So if you see it on the screen.
Well, is it gonna be on here too? Because I'm looking at the breakdowns, okay, that are further down, okay, so you have, on the revenue, okay, we have other, okay, and you're expecting $42,000 less, oh wait, $5,400 more, okay? Well, actually, it'd be a lot less, okay? So I went down to other, all right, and it shows, the current at, okay, there's a miscellaneous revenue of 38,000, 42,000. It's hard to go up and down here. I kind of wish I had paper. Okay, but the amended budget for this year was 42,000 approximately in other,
Oh, yeah.
in miscellaneous expense. So what is that? I mean miscellaneous revenue.
And again, the miscellaneous, under the amended, that number is not, I don't know how to explain it, it's not a good number.
Okay, well, that explained it.
That's good,
Yeah.
but bad, it don't.
That's
Okay.
gonna change.
All right, good enough. Okay, so if there's something that's going to change, just say so,
Yes.
and we'll
yes.
skip it.
Okay.
All right, so now we have, okay, all right, we're going to, okay, that was operating revenue.
Yes.
Okay, so,
Will you expense?
yes, you can go to expense. So Expense under administration, I would assume that's anticipating hiring a city administrator.
Yes,
Okay,
that's got the salary for the city administrator, yes.
okay. And then municipal court is pretty, so you're, municipal court, the expenditures is $113,000 for the judges and such and so forth?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, so that's an increase of 20 grand. Okay, street,
And also too, one of the things, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead,
One
no.
of the things that they're trying to do, with this judge and the prosecutors, they do, the warrant roundup, and I think they're trying to do twice a year, warrant roundup, and so they're here all day long.
Yeah, they're here all day long from, the prosecutor, the guys come in at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, the officers. Then I'll show up around 7, and then the prosecutor shows up at about 8. Until they pick everybody up, and then the judge comes in around 9. 8 or 9.
Here.
This last,
It's
this
no
last
longer-
time we were able to have it at the committee, because we don't know who they picked up. All my files are over there, there's no way I'm gonna bring those cabinets over here, and it would, there's just no way. So we had this open to house any excess defendants here,
But
but we
everything-
had to have somebody over here guarding them,
all right.
But you were actually doing court
but I
there.
was doing it over there.
Okay, so we're having court there now.
No,
No, it
court's
was just
here.
for the
That's
one
just for the
roundup.
Oh, just for the roundup?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we can't bring all those files, we don't know who they're picking up, and then we would have to go through folders.
Yeah, 'cause
And when do y'all do the roundup?
We
Twice
try
a
doing
year.
them twice a year. They try doing them in the beginning of
So
the year.
normal
Wow.
court
We did
is
one in March.
here,
Normal
but
court is
twice a
here.
year
And
it's
we're over
there.
budget 20 grand? Right? What you said? I was looking at it.
What are we
On
looking at?
municipal
Municipal
court?
Am
court?
I
What are you
going-
looking at?
For the municipal court,
Uh-huh.
right? It says.
It'll
here-
be, okay, it'll be asking for 20,000 more.
Oh, they're okay.
What
Can we
page are you
go,
on?
4?
I'm on the top
4 times
part.
a year?
on
Roundup?
Operating expenditures where it has municipal court.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
asking,
finally got to it, sorry.
yeah, it's asking, that's itty bitty print right here. I can't expand it.
Yeah, I don't know how to make it the whole page either.
Yeah, I'm the same way, so, okay, so that's just, so 20,000 more. Okay, so in essence, we gotta pay more for everything, the judges, the officers.
So the legal, municipal court, it's highlighted in yellow.
It is?
Under,
Under
oh,
the
yes.
425, 460? Is that the one you're talking about?
Well, I was just talking about the lump sum up at the top,
Oh, okay.
okay?
That one is gonna change, and so
Okay.
we're gonna have to figure that out to see what's gonna change.
Okay, move on. Okay, so, all right, we'll skip that. Streets, okay, okay, we're projecting 299,000 more. Would that be the carryover from last year?
I'm going to streets.
What line number is that?
Well, I'm on the general, okay, the lump sums, I'm not on the breakdowns. I'm at the very top page, the very first page.
490, 11, 730.
439.
Street department.
We're at 430 what?
Is it
Well, street signs is 439, but the total is right under that.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, but what were you saying?
Well, okay, okay, once again, I'm just looking at the general stuff here, because I'm going up and down, I'm getting a little, it's irritating. So I'm just looking at the general, the first page, the general, okay? And I haven't gone down to the breakdowns because it's up and down, up and down, up and down. And you lose the headings at the top, okay?
Oh, I see where you're seeing.
Right, so.
What it is that we didn't spend 236,000 on
Right,
streets.
so that's why I asked if that's a carryover.
Well, it doesn't really get the carryover unless we say put it in a fund like we did last year.
Okay, so where is that money at? Is that in here?
No, that is,
Okay.
that's in a liability account.
Okay, all right. So we're projecting, street expenditures of $600,000 for this coming fiscal year. Am I reading that right?
As a total, yes.
Okay, thanks. All right. Clearly, you don't want to cut there unless you absolutely positively have to, but I'd like to know about the carryovers, if that can offset that, or we just add to it.
We have 200 and, I forget, how much do we have in that account from last year that we put in?
It was like 200. Was it
16 or,
230?
it was it was a substantial amount. Did we use part of that for Shaver?
For what?
Was it Shaver? What was the street?
Shaver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
street.
Shaver was gonna be used, and that's what, they finished out, right, with Shaver?
Yes, you're done with that project.
So we'll be paying that bill soon. Will it come out of that account or this account?
I think it's gonna come out of the contract one, out of that one, that is on that line item for contractors. Right?
Well, it'll come out of street maintenance, wouldn't
Yes,
it?
street maintenance, yes.
Okay, contract, oh, I see, okay. That's the 263 right now that we've got. So that's gonna go up, Butch. The
Mhm.
the 263 or 236 that's not used, some of it's gonna be used because we still
Yeah.
have to pay for Shaver.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so police, the 58,000 more, would be for the armor they were requesting the other night?
For the what?
The,
Yes,
the
they
new
have
armor?
some stuff, yes, that they're,
36
that
of
they
it's
increase
armor.
their, some of their line items.
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
just
able
not
to
going up
get
from there. It's
the
just,
things that
it's a
they're
pain.
needing.
I don't like
Yeah.
this. Okay, I'm just getting a general overview because once again, all your numbers are gonna change. Okay? So, police SRO, okay, we're asking, that's for one officer?
Yeah, the school case, I believe it's up to, they increased it, I believe it's up to 50,000.
Why would we
So-
ask for $10,000 more for that SRO?
Probably the salary increase.
Salary increase. But, yeah.
Oh,
That's
that I
considerable.
can look up, hold on.
Yeah,
One moment, please.
sure.
SRO. Well, no, it'll be about, well, between 2,000 and 3,000. The 4 and 6, something like that.
It's 50 or?
No, 4. He only gets 4. 2,000. So 2,000 is that. Plus, we don't know what workers' comp is. Which could be more. It's always more. It's never less.
It's a considerable amount.
So, yes, it is salary, it's 50,000 for the SRO.
Which is it, so this,
But with the percentage, I believe he was in the category of the 4%. So
Yes.
that's the increase.
that's 4%? Okay,
It's 2,000.
I see an increase of $10,000 on here.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be the insurance, nope, that's separate, never mind, that's separate.
Yeah.
I don't know what the 10,000 is. Technically, it's a little bit 2,000, unless you're putting in, his supervisor and stuff like that, like we.
Oh,
Hey,
you know
but he already
what,
gets
you're
paid.
probably right. And
Uh-huh.
yes, I'm glad you said that. So, but I don't know if it would be under, on the 441, let me check on that.
Okay.
But, now that you said that, so, like the police department, Candy and Chris, some of their salary comes out of animal control, because they're over animal control. So, like the city administrator, myself, Denise, the supervisors, they're split on the different departments, by a percentage.
Okay, so you're taking their actual salary that's on the salary line page that we got the other night, okay, and you're breaking that up into, you're putting some in administration, you're putting some in
Yeah,
animal,
and I
animal
can tell
control,
you-
and so forth.
Yeah.
Goes across the board and all the departments. It took me forever to figure that out.
No,
I,
no,
it just didn't make sense.
I got it. So I assume you have a formula to determine that, or you're just estimating?
Yes, and then, I have like,
That
for
probably has
instance,
supervisory.
I'm just gonna just throw out here, for instance, like the custodian, he is split, from admin, police department, library, community center, water and sewer.
Sure.
So we have the percentage, for admin it's 15%,
I got you.
for police department it's 10%, so that's,
Understood. Okay.
So it's split up between. all
So
the
anyway,
departments.
I think this SRO number, I sure would like to get a better grasp on
Yeah.
that. That's a considerable amount.
I can check on that one.
Animal control, we're looking at an increase of 33,000.
We now have 2 animal control officers. Before we were, if y'all remember, I think I think it has the dates when they started,
Yeah,
from what I gave y'all.
yeah.
Okay.
Down here.
So now you have the 2, full-time.
And we consider that a priority. I mean, just asking, I'm not judging.
No, I know that. I'm just going based on, that was something that council, way back, they wanted 2 animal control.
Okay.
And so, because they wanted to make sure that that they had shifts on the weekends.
Okay,
And like if they, they had to, like, somebody got a call at 7 o'clock or something, that they were still on shift. Especially like for some of the people that were having like skunks in their traps.
Oh,
So,
sure.
But that was like way back, and I'd have to look back to, there is minutes where council approved for the.
I think it's 2020 or was it 2019?
No, I think it's before that.
You think it was before that?
Yeah.
But we didn't have one, 2 for a while there.
Stray dogs are a huge issue for our walkers, so I know that was a priority, and they've done a good job at.
They've been
Getting
very
after
on
that.
it, and our shelter has become, well, less no-kill than we anticipated.
Yeah, they do
So-
adopt out a lot.
We're down to what, 4% now? I think we're at 4%.
Oh, you mean it's more no-kill than anticipated?
Cool. I'm sorry?
You said less no-kill. It's more no-kill than
No,
anticipated.
no, I said
Right.
that backwards, you're right.
Yeah.
We have less killing going on.
Good, good. That's always good. Okay,
So,
all right.
I'm really good with having 2, personally.
Yeah, okay. Once again, continue overview. Parks and Rec, we're asking for another 19,500.
Hold on.
I mean, Briscoe Park's looking pretty good. Then again, that's lawn maintenance as well, so.
Okay, what's, because they got 7,000 more in their, maintenance. Remember we said we wanted to give them 25,000 for maintenance for both, because this is both parks together.
Sure.
And that's if they need new slides or we wanna buy them new slides, or we wanna put shade up, or we wanna put, like, well, Parks and Rec Board, I should say. If they brought something like that to us, then we have $25,000 there to let them play with.
Mike, how's your park looking?
Good.
Good?
It's not dead, but.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I
my
know.
yard.
I've
The
had,
sand is turning into glass, I mean.
I've had people, I've had a few people ask, like when I was campaigning, like, Curcio Park doesn't have a covered pavilion,
Yeah.
but Briscoe does. So it's something to consider in
We
the
did
future.
save a lot of money in that one because it didn't get a licensed bonded contractor for the concrete pad, as I am told. Which dramatically reduced the cost.
There you go, okay. Golf course, okay, that's a good number on the golf course, okay, for obvious reasons. So I assume the $181,000, is that debt service? Or is that just the finishing of the renovations of the clubhouse?
161,000 is.
I got 181.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Golf course budget request, 181,000. I assume that's to finish the work and everything that's already begun on the golf course?
I'm trying to see where you're seeing the 181, but I'm sorry.
Okay, it's the very top again, just a summary page. Golf course, all right? Budget request, 181,596.
Okay, gives 5,000 for building maintenance and 15,000 for property liability insurance.
Yeah, 160,000 principal.
And yeah, the interest, then you add the interest, so it's 161,096 is the payment,
Okay, the interest is how much?
1,096
Okay, so times, that's the interest per month or per year?
year.
Okay, so,
The payment for the year,
let's get down to
That's
golf
just the
course.
interest. The payment is 160,000. The interest is
right, but it's
$1,096.
total
Are y'all doing the budget
161,096.
request or the year-to-date?
The budget
Budget
request,
request.
the budget request,
So the budget request, we have 80,000 in there.
oh, it shows 181,596.
It shows
Yes, and
181.
that's, the ones that I gave y'all, that y'all got today, because we put the other 80 because debt service pays for it, so we put it in a debt service.
Oh, but it's still coming out of golf course.
But it's still
It's still for the
attributed to the golf
golf
course.
Yes, it's still under the certificate of
Okay.
obligation on that.
Okay,
Right,
well,
yes.
well, you gotta put that in there so you know.
So, yes, so it's
Okay.
in both places, it's there and it's in if you look in the debt service.
So
it's there
technically, we
along
got
with
about
the
20
interest.
grand in the, if you take that out, about 20 grand is what they're
I
putting.
understand?
We're still looking at another vent fan and an air conditioner. That was still on the docket for discussion.
Well, vent fan.
Well, that would be-
That should be.
That should be in this year's budget, correct? That'd be in this year's budget.
Okay. And
And they're supposed to come back
yep.
to y'all.
Yeah, they're
after
supposed to, yeah.
And then
Okay.
we're gonna lot something if one of those water pumps goes out.
Well,
$40,000 each.
Yeah, for the,
We can have a pile
Uh-uh.
of dirt for a golf course.
we're not paying the full thing, you know that. And what is the risk assessment of both going out at the same time?
well, how old were those?
Doesn't matter.
wells?
Tell me that they're all both gonna go out this year and we're gonna.
No, we're not saying it's gonna go out,
But if you're gonna budget
if those
for
things
that,
are, those wells, how long has
there's
that golf course been around?
$40,000. There's $40,000 you're gonna put in the golf course budget that we don't have.
You were saying a dramatically different tune a year ago.
No, last year was much different than it is today.
If
Okay.
y'all want us to put anything in this, but no.
We do.
Can you, for example, rather than putting it into a particular budget, okay, because we don't want to give the misconception that, you know, we want to spend $40,000 more on the golf course. But do we not have contingency budgets that aren't allocated? You can't do that?
Everything has to
No.
be allocated.
Has to be allocated. Okay.
That's my point is that let's prepare for bad stuff and then it's great if we have extra money at the end of the year. That's my position on the topic.
But we need to make
Exposed.
sure that it's known. Okay, let's just say if you put a contingency on the golf course line, the line item. Well, we need to make sure that it's well known that that's not available to spend except for emergency.
Right.
So
Well,
I'm
it's
just
like
saying,
permits or,
because sometimes, a lot of times, people will get their budgets and they'll go, okay, like.
They'll go.
And yeah, okay, so.
Money.
So if we do something like that, it definitely needs to be earmarked, and of course, they have to come to us anyway.
Right.
Okay, library, okay, 21,000 more, I think we talked about that at the last one, they have more programs.
Yes.
Are there any salary increases in that?
Yes.
Yes.
It's almost
Okay.
$7,500.
On
Okay.
the salary
Yes,
increase part.
because they were, I think, they were at I believe, 6%.
Yes.
What is the opinion of council on focusing our salary increases on those making less than 40,000 in an effort to bring them closer to that 40,000 area?
That's what's in this budget.
That was under 50.
No, I changed the.
Oh, you did?
She changed it
Oh,
to 40.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I did change it to 40.
So
Okay.
that
Y'all
means
talked
all my
about it.
little colored things
So-
not right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I did do the 40. Anybody less than 40?
Oh, and maybe more than 1 year of service?
Okay,
I did.
just keep adding. We can't afford it now.
I
but
know,
you're
that's
gonna
why
add more to
you're
it.
reducing, because people who just started, then you're less than 1 year, that way you have less increases, but it's a rule for folks who are still here.
Thought you wanted,
So,
okay, I'll play devil's advocate. You wanna keep the employees you have, but because you've only been here a year, you only get 4%. But you that've been here 7 years, you get 6%. What if they don't do the equal amount of work. Who's gonna quit because I do more work and they got a better raise?
You sure do have a lot of complaints and not many solutions.
I gave you a solution earlier and y'all just walked right over it, so now I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you.
I've amended it. And I also gave you a solution earlier to check with department heads before we go blanket increasing salaries to make sure those folks actually deserve them.
But I thought we were gonna give them the opportunity they get between 4 and 6 for their people.
And my pushback is get folks closer to that higher living wage, which is why
What
folks are
political
more
party
on.
are you with?
Okay,
Let's not go there. I just was saying that as a joke.
Yeah, let's try and at least, if
But
we can.
I did not mean ill will. He knows I was
Yeah.
teasing with him. I don't even remember what the first question was now.
Well, we were discussing the library.
Uh-huh.
Oh, getting them closer.
Okay, and then
That's
right, and then with the salaries from there and so forth. Okay, airport.
Huh?
All right, now, we're expecting almost $69,000 more of expense. Is the interest from the C of O included in here?
There should be on
Yes.
Is
No.
it? No.
the, no, that's part of the debt.
Okay, so, all right, so why would we need another?
She went up on the, airport fuel purchase. She went up to,
Okay.
75.
Okay,
Why?
Huh?
Why?
They, I don't know if she,
expecting more sales.
yeah,
Expecting.
Mhm.
yeah.
And we're
But
not
again,
getting
so
it,
nothing,
we're not getting it at the present.
No, we're not.
Okay,
Yeah, because year to date, you see where we're at year to date right now, we're at 22,654.
And we put in what, 60?
well, there was a carryover from last calendar year. But actually, it would work in the favor of this calendar year. Because we actually haven't bought fuel this calendar year. Okay, on buying fuel for the airport, did I not see we actually haven't purchased fuel this year because we still have surplus?
Yeah, we still have, fuel, she hasn't bought, she's only made a one-time purchase.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
What is the net revenue on that fuel?
not much.
What is the net revenue? I only saw gross revenue.
I didn't know it was for it.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm only seeing gross revenue, not net revenue. Does anybody know what the net revenue is?
It should all be in.
It's all in here somewhere, we
Yeah.
just got it, so perhaps we
Without
can
me
review
looking at
that.
it, Josh, I can tell you.
Yeah.
I have to look at it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure y'all got it as well.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
Is this
Well,
available on a comma
okay, you
separator
got-
file?
well, you got price per gallon,
How do you?
403 in November, and then price gas sold at, it shows 530, but that doesn't make sense. But,
It's like $6,000
Anyway.
of potential revenue.
so you're making $1,000, well, that was just, it's done every so often, and it's not quarterly, it's just every so often on here, okay?
Does it go up and down like our gas pumps do? But I'm asking, I
Yes.
don't know.
Yes, and I think that what it, she put it in that, the graphs, Vicky did those graphs. So, I think she's showing y'all
Let's come
there
back
on
to that
those.
and we can review this. We need to expedite it.
But there, she's showing y'all the different, now, in there is also too, like, for instance, I think at the very beginning, when we first started an operation with the fuel farm, to get it out there and knowing we were selling fuel, that you're only allowed to keep the fuel for so long, and then after that, you have to do it, you have to get it inspected, and so that way you can continue.
Are we coming up on that date
because I've seen a
now?
lot of credit.
I don't know, I know we did at the very beginning, but we haven't.
That would be
So she hasn't
your
told me
sales, is
that,
it not?
But
Yeah.
I'll
Buying
We
it
check.
back.
need to double check to make sure we
No,
don't have to
it's just,
recertify
it's a
that
credit
graph.
to that
I don't
account.
want
Oh,
to
okay,
lose it all.
okay.
Okay, okay guys, so in the airport then, we're projecting to spend, so this would include the maintenance contract, this would include, I guess, the fuel farm, and et cetera, $177,000 for this coming year.
Right, and I'm gonna get with,
And
I'll get
include-
with Vicky
include-
on the 75,000.
Okay, then we'll come back to it as soon as we know a little bit more, because that seems awfully high.
Okay.
Hey Dora,
Okay.
does this include a cost for the cover over top of the credit card machine?
It's gonna cost, they're gonna do it in-house, and I believe the
Yeah.
supplies is 66, and that's this
Yeah.
budget. the current
Oh,
budget.
okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, community center, we're looking at additional expense of $8,000. Are we doing some, you know, some upkeep, hopefully some,
Haven't we talked
Yeah.
about
I think
painting
it was
it?
the two AC units.
okay,
Yeah.
got it, all right.
Said two?
A big building,
Right, but that's only gonna be $8,000?
Oh, it came out of this grant budget.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
our budget.
oh, okay, for next year, we're just anticipating?
I
Okay,
know y'all were wanting to do some stuff as far as like,
Mini walls.
yeah. So they were wanting to do some little repairs here and there.
so that's over 50% of the previous budget, previous year, so that's why I'm asking.
Wasn't it painting? Painting was part of it?
Okay,
There were gonna be stage two.
On the stage two, that's right. The stage.
Yeah. But,
all right.
I'm
Because the
looking.
legal fees have gone up, I don't know why. Consulting,
I haven't touched legal.
okay, the consulting fee of $4,500.
Where are you at now?
I'm on line, 475.
Oh, you're going down the breakdowns, I thought.
I'm in the breakdown. You're asking about why is it so much? Well, $4,500 is consulting fee.
Oh, in the community center.
Yeah,
4,500 for consulting fee for
yeah, but I
community
don't know
center?
what that is.
I
What in the
can
world would
tell
that
you-
be?
I can tell you.
Thank you. That's a good find, thank you.
I'm sorry.
$1,500 in accounting fees, deficit this year. 1,500 this year.
Well, where's that at? Sure.
It's,
At the beginning?
line 840.
So that's James, that's
Oh.
James and Navix.
Oh, and you put it under
Everybody
here.
pays,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, so, I got it. Anyway, guys, what I'm kind of trying to do here, let's get an overview of the general fund. She's gonna tell us what's gonna change and so forth and what have you. And then on your own time, we can go and examine the line items per fund, okay? Right, and then mark things that you think are out of line or whatever for when we come back next time. I think we can really make our time a lot more efficient,
Yeah.
okay?
And
So,
if y'all can let me know the ones that if y'all can let me know ahead of time, the ones that y'all have questions, we can print reports for y'all.
okay. Code enforcement, we're asking for another $44,000. Is that because we went without code enforcement for a while?
We now have a full-time.
Okay, all right, and then, but the code enforcement salary was nowhere near that.
It says here that the increase was 20 grand for the salaries.
Yeah, now we have a full-time. Eddie was helping us, so not all his salary was in code compliance.
Okay,
Because
Okay.
he's also in the sewer.
So the
okay,
sheet you gave last week does not properly reflect it then? Because last week that, the code enforcement person wasn't making that much on that paper you gave us.
You gotta remember, there was gonna be
We went with,
supervisory
Oh.
salary
anything less
included in
than,
this.
we went up to 6%.
It's
It
got
was 30 something, now it's
supervisory
49,
salary.
yeah. So,
Okay.
Or what, this includes the supervisor pay as well?
Oh, yeah, yes, we have, yes.
okay, so you're gonna have administration in there, you're gonna have city workers, okay, good enough. And then on emergency management, I assume that's a typo of, okay, where it says increase, decrease of 44,873, it's the same as the previous above it. On the general page, the very first page.
I'm there. So you're looking at the in total, is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, emergency management, increase, decrease over the previous budget of 44,873. That must be a typo because it matches the code enforcement number above it.
Oh, no. It's 58,000.
I'm looking at the first page,
Uh-huh, got it.
emergency management,
Mhm.
okay, increase, decrease, 44,873. It's gotta be a mistake. because your budget request is actually less than, well, it should be 23 or 24. You see it?
Okay, they're not matching up.
Yeah,
The detail is not matching your summary
right,
page.
see, emergency management, okay, it's your summary page.
Yeah.
44,873, increase,
I
decrease,
think
but
that-
that's the same
yeah.
as. that
Okay,
one.
that's, oh, you, okay, got it, got
Okay,
it, got it.
all right, so it seems like you're,
I think they just put the wrong number up there.
right,
Yeah.
right. So that might skew your increase,
Yeah,
decrease a little bit.
because the detail is much different.
Yeah.
What did I say that was wrong? What line is it?
Anyway, that would seem to be a good start. Rather than getting in,
It's actually going, it really went down 58,737. So it went way down. Way
okay.
down.
So may I propose, this is a really good start, okay? On our own time, we could go and examine every single line item that's itemized here, make notes for the next budget session that we have. I think we can probably save a lot of time with the back and forth if we're already prepared ahead of time to know the questions you want to ask. And perhaps you can even find those out before we even get here.
Dora will have better numbers for us.
Right, and she's gonna have better numbers also, so
Yeah.
we might be spinning our wheels in a lot of areas. Okay? So we still have, we finally got the numbers that we can work with, okay? So I think we can make some really good progress.
Do we
Next-
have a general idea of how much we're looking to cut?
Not yet,
Okay.
we had to wait for those numbers, number
Yeah.
one. And so right now, we got it, she has it rated at the previous tax rate that okay? So which is going to bring in a little bit more revenue because
Yeah.
of the property valuations. But we do have room to add to that. I wouldn't say go ahead and go to the max rate. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, okay?
I would suggest, like we've done in the past, because it worked for us, she did it at the 4913 and then do it at the 5553. Give us two,
Great, yes.
give us two
Yeah.
full budgets. I realize we're not printing them out anymore, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I
But we can look at them that way to see the difference.
I was just gonna say that. So
When
let's
we
have,
do
let's have
that.
another one, or even below that 55,
So do
you
the
know,
4913 and do the 5553?
or just go halfway in between.
Yeah.
Or you do three budgets then. I still want to see 4913.
If it's something that, it sounds like it would be an easy thing to do, once you have your starting numbers, right? So you might want to say, okay, this is it at 49, this is it at 52, okay, this is it at 55.
And really only the summary page needs to be done for those different, because
Yeah.
the detail's gonna stay the same.
Right, the details will still be same percentage. Yeah.
Just the summary
Somewhere in
page.
between?
Well, the expenditures will be the same.
Expenditures would be
You wouldn't
the
go
same.
down and increase those, you would leave those.
Yeah, I'm just saying the summary pages, so we would know
Yeah,
for revenue only.
Right.
Revenue.
yes, ma'am.
That way it gives you better visual, I know it did me, learning this. Cause I know Michael and Stacy is like, I know where you are at right now, like,
It's-
what the heck? Cause I didn't understand this the first time I went through it either. It's
And just
Crazy.
something for y'all
I've
to
done it a few
remember,
times.
I know Melissa kind of mentioned it, but remember, part of this, on the tax worksheet, part of that is going, is, like she said, the debt rate is not gonna change, it's gonna be at the, what did she say, the 1104 or something like that, so.
The INS rate,
Hmm?
the INS rate.
Yeah, the
That cannot be modified as far as the
Exactly.
minimum.
So
Right.
just remember that not all of that, what we're calculating on the tax rate, that is gonna be in the actual general fund, because some of it is going, because of what she's saying, has to go into the debt service. So just remember that.
Well, the INS is separate of the 55.
No, she's saying that whatever rate we use, whether it's a 4913 or 5553, you're gonna make, out of that amount, that
Oh.
1104 is going to the
The debt.
debt service.
We're still sitting at about 10 million in debt, yeah?
Huh?
We're still sitting at about 10 million in debt? I think we're at 11 million before we paid off that loan to, Lido Bank.
I'll have to look, Josh. I'm not gonna tell you because I want to lie.
Like,
Okay.
I'm just looking for a ballpark, yeah. Okay.
I've played with numbers all day long, I've been,
All the
Okay.
debt we have right
Well,
now is covered.
I think we made some really good headway, folks.
Obviously, we're not in fault.
So
Water and
is
sewer
there
though is gonna be a mess.
anything that y'all want me to go back and get with the departments so we can all get together and go over everything, anything? Or
See
just-
what they can cut.
Huh?
See what they can cut. Cause you know, I'm not wanting to raise taxes. But then again, these guys may want to.
I didn't want to raise my employees' wages either, but I had to.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, like I said, I think we've done some pretty good work here. So next week is our regular meeting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do you also have budget plan for that, for next week also? So then.
Yes, because I think Melissa's needing to know what tax rate y'all are going, by Tuesday.
By Tuesday of next week?
I thought
She
they
only
didn't
needs
have
to
to have
know
it till
because she's
Tuesday.
gotta get the
till-
stuff ready for the newspaper, for the public hearings and stuff. She has to know. It can change. She said it can change, but she's gotta have y'all take, which y'all did last year, y'all took during the budget, y'all took a vote that y'all were looking at going to the 4913.
But I didn't think we.
Well,
did
you
that
had no
till
choice last
September.
year.
No, you do that in September.
That was the max.
But she needs a number to start plugging in for the public hearing. She needs to have the number.
Okay, then I was, okay, last year, the 4913 was the max that could be charged, and it actually went over.
No, it was in the
Okay.
middle. We
I'm just repeating her.
We,
Okay.
we went between
So-
the max and
Yeah.
the.
So that's something to
no
be,
revenue,
Which is the
whatever it was.
4913.
Huh?
Which is the 4913.
well, you can find that,
4913 was
Yeah,
in the
was the
middle.
middle.
you can
Yes.
find that easy
Okay, I have
enough.
it from last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so the no new revenue tax rate for last year was 4439.
Correct.
Okay.
And,
Our current.
Oh, you
was
went more than the
52.98.
3.5%.
Our current one was 52.98 and the.
The previous.
Revenue was 44, so we met in the
Right.
middle at 49.
Yeah, you went over to 3.5%, which could have forced an election, but nobody did it. That's what it is. That's more than 3.5%, which is fine.
We could have stayed at 52.98 without an election, because it was the current rate.
I don't know about that
That's,
one. think
that's
it's
what
the
I
other way around.
remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, we went to 49.30, we dropped the tax rate.
Yeah, you can't leave it at the current, if it's brought down by your property taxes and by your sales taxes, you have to adjust it. So the most you can increase from your no new revenue rate is 3.5%. That's a law,
But we didn't.
without an election, okay, right, and then you can be okay, you can have a rollback election.
But it
if
doesn't
a
matter
petition
really,
is-
the thing is that we need to come up with,
Yeah,
I
so-
didn't think we did
well, I would
that until
propose-
September, is
Yeah.
really what I'm
I'm
saying.
sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. So 22-23, the no new revenue tax rate was 45.27. And you're right, the 52.98 was the current tax rate. And then council decided to do the 49.13.
Right,
So it was 45.27.
was no new.
Yeah, so that's more than that's slightly above the 3.5%. So, but it's no biggie, because, but if you try to go above the 3.5%, then the petition get passed or whatever, and so forth to roll it back. But if there's no petition and no request for an election, you don't have to worry about it. So, but I would suggest then proposing the median rate, just for starters, if you could go down and up. Okay, you just said that she needs a number to plug in, but it can be changed.
Yeah, because she said,
So then-
and
so
she
then-
said that when she was on the phone, that it can be changed, but she just needs for y'all to take a vote on the number that y'all are looking at, but she's saying it can be changed.
But then we'll have to do that on Tuesday, because we can't vote tonight.
No, right.
Okay, all right. So then, the next agenda, it would seem to me we need to, limit it as much as possible, or we want to have the same old thing and stay here for 4 hours next Tuesday night?
Y'all tell me.
That's that puppy down.
Or do we want to break it down, instead of doing everything on Tuesday, have a budget meeting let's say on Thursday, rather than cramming it all into one night.
We just, if there are too many agenda items, can we just push them to the following Tuesday? We have meetings every Tuesday anyway.
Yeah. Next Thursday, school starts, right?
No, the following Monday.
It's 23rd,
So next week after that.
two Mondays.
I'm in whatever y'all wanna do.
Well, we have time. Okay,
Might make the decision when you see how many agenda items you might have.
well, we have to post for his,
I
the
know,
budget
but
workshop, so,
by Thursday morning, you would know
that's true.
how many would be on the agenda,
Okay,
I would think.
all right, we can do, I can call a special
I
meeting then.
can, tomorrow, I can have, Ophelia will be in tomorrow, and so what I can have her do is start working on the budget, the agenda for me, and so we'll be able to tell y'all, hopefully sooner.
Okay, then what we can do is pending that, I can call a special meeting for Thursday. Or
Which we
hopefully
don't
everybody
post
can be
till
there.
Tuesday,
So,
Monday,
yeah, that gives us plenty of time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right now, we have meetings scheduled for the 15th, August the 15th, August the 22nd, August the 29th, September 5th, September 12th, September 19th, and September 26th.
okay. And if we do it right, we won't need all those meetings. Okay, so, but everybody has to do their homework. Okay, we can't do our homework here. Okay, we need to be prepared when we show up, so we can get right to the meat of everything. All right. Do we have informational items on this?
Yes,
I don't know.
yes.
Yes, there is.
Okay, I left it out of my truck of all things. I met with Commissioner Lawler the other day, right? We walked the creek on this end of town, and he has some great observations and some ideas. He thinks he can clean it up quite nicely to where we won't have to worry about it for many, many years. Okay, and then he is. If we do that part of it, okay, he's asking that we can hopefully provide some manpower. He suggested approximately about a week to do what he wants to do, getting all this equipment in, but he would like to have some manpower from the city, okay? And then as far as like the labor hours on his end, okay, which probably wouldn't be too much because you got equipment operator and so forth, okay? Along with any street work he does for us, we'll just trade off with utilities. Okay, and he's going to, for example, so many gallons of water, for example, to so many contract hours, so many labor hours that he would have. So not a concrete figure on that, but for example, okay, now just talking about the drainage project, okay, the cleaning of burnt boot on this end of town, on this side. So that will take care of that, and that'll satisfy the requirements for the county. Okay, so it wouldn't cost us anything other than some manpower or the cost of utilities, because we give them utilities out there at their yard and their warehouse and so forth, their
Electrics
office.
and water?
We don't do electric.
No, that's why you said utilities, so I'm
Well,
asking.
water
Water,
and,
sewer.
and sewer, yeah,
Okay.
water and sewer. Okay, and then he gave me a sheet. His cost, they did a project somewhere 4 miles on a county road back in February, and the cost per mile, his cost of the materials only was $81,000. Yeah, per mile, okay? And so, and believe it or not, that included $105,000 to get it to the site on the trucks and everything from outside of Honda, I guess.
Wow.
Okay, I can't remember the name of the trucking company they use, but I see their trucks all the time, and as soon as I leave here, I'll probably remember. Okay, and once again, if we decide on which streets we would like to resurface and what have you, it'll be the same deal, to where we trade out for utilities, as far as our matching part for his man hours.
So we get 3 1/4 miles out of it with what we got in the, still 3 1/4 miles.
Well, I thought I saw 600 and some thousand over there.
Well, that's with the current budget,
Yeah,
not what's in.
and that's, yeah,
the
right,
thing.
right, that's materials. So, you know, that's the scoop. This stuff has gotten outrageous like everything else has,
It has.
okay? So, it's like that across the board in everything we do. But I think it's gonna be a fair exchange for us. So, that's the informational item on that. The school board is asking me to come to their next full meeting, which I believe is the Monday before our, let's see, it's the third week. It's coming up in a couple weeks. We're at August 8th. Theirs is like, I think the following week. But in other words, they want me to go in person. They don't want me, you know, for example, talking to Todd, Todd talks to them, they talk to Todd, he gets back with me, and so forth. So they would like me to go and present in person. Okay, so that's where we're at on that. Okay, there's still a couple people that don't want to sell. Okay, just letting you. So hopefully, if we can all get in there together and discuss, go back and forth, I can work that out with them to where we can get that acre to put in the new storage tank. All right. And as far as I know, that's it on updates.
I have one, that it's actually almost a month old because we haven't had information on it since the last regular meeting. Oh, and I don't even know if we did it that night because we ran out of time. Chamber of Commerce, just wanted to update everybody on that. For Fall Festival, they have almost all the music booked already, which is awesome. The storage room over here is cleaned out completely. It has just a desk, a little file cabinet, and a bookcase. That's all they need right now because they have to have, what is that thing called out there that has the names?
Marquee?
Thank you, the marquee. I'm losing my marbles. Their computer has to be within so many feet of the marquee. But the rest of the room is clean and shiny for whatever we need it for now. And the key, she had the key and she was gonna give it to me that day and she couldn't find, she literally dumped her purse out, which, I don't know, that's a scary thing. You can live out of some women's purses, I'm just saying. So, we couldn't find the key. She's having another one made for you. So that's taken care of now. And then they have ordered banners for the fall. They were hoping they'd be here by the time school starts. I don't know if they are going to be or not.
They are.
They are, great. This is what they're gonna be. You know where the holiday banners go on the streets? They're gonna put these up
I
for the
love
fall.
that. That's great.
Yes, and then this was, I don't know if this is when they finally decided or not. This will be like the May through August one. for-
Summer ones.
Yeah, summertime. And then we have a holiday, then they're gonna come up with another Divine one for after the first year. But anyway, that's kinda cool. I think it'll look nice. We'll have a little spark out there on the road. So that's all on Chamber that I know of at the moment.
All right, I think that's it on the agenda.
I have some information.
Okay, go ahead,
items.
Josh.
Okay, as you folks are out and about in the community, try your best to inspire the volunteerism spirit. There's about the same 20 people doing everything in this town. Every single board, every single chamber of commerce, DMA, everything has the same people. So just as you see folks that aren't necessarily engaged, what are you doing for your community? Another thing, there's a soccer youth program that aligns cities with grants to allow soccer programs for kids. I can't find the folks that might want to run something like that. The grant money exists. They can use the city as a conduit.
There is a soccer program here at DYS.
Nope.
BYS.
They suspended it.
They did really?
Yep.
Wow.
They're gonna only have fall soccer now.
Okay.
They had 2 times a year, now it's just gonna be fall.
I know. Either way, they were tight on resources to make that happen. So,
Would this grant help the DYS?
it can help anybody that wants to run it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just following that stuff in the city kind of enables that stuff. And they have a whole youth program, a whole curriculum for kids after school. So
We
if you
can't be a part of that. The city can't run a soccer program. School can, BYS can.
I'm not quite sure about that, but.
Well, your
anyway.
parks director, there's a lot of cities that actually
Parks
do.
director.
Yes, if they have a parks.
Right, right. For example, Hondo has a
In a
tremendous,
park, we can't afford to have someone
a
mowing.
tremendous rec program over there. You know, so do a few other towns that I actually do business with.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where you're
Right,
at.
and if we find someone that wants to volunteer to be on the board, that'd be great too. Also, there's a shooting range grant from the state of Texas for $150,000. That would be a great.
There's a shooting range grant.
Yep, to establish a shooting range. I mean, you build giant stone boxes and put some roofing up, could be used steel. That would be a great draw for the town. Again, it's another one of those things though, who's gonna manage it? Can we find folks in town here that, with an entrepreneurial spirit, that wanna run a management company for something like that and can put together a plan to make that happen? Just opportunities out there. I'd love to see-
That would be your 4-H programs.
So I think that'd be a great combination with the school, maybe the county as well, and the city. So that way we could enable an archery and a shooting program for the school, but also on the weekends, then that could be a good draw for tourists. There aren't many outdoor shooting ranges, unless you know someone with a ranch and a nice dirt burner, but.
I know the police department, they use one that's out in the country somewhere.
Just
They
some
usually
thoughts.
are.
That's all I got, thank you.
All right, anything else, guys?
I got one question for you. We had an incident, was it last Friday? How do we keep the city hall more secure for what happened that Friday last week?
Well, first of all, it's not informational items. It's a great
Yeah, but
question.
I
That you'd have to address with police department. I would think that City Hall was fairly secure, but as it turned out, at that particular time, we didn't have an officer here, correct?
Yeah.
No, they were out and about.
So of all things, so that was one of those things, you know, so that's good to look into, yeah. So it was kind of a, yeah, it was
It's kind of scary, so
Kinda was.
just want to make sure that
Yeah.
we keep these employees secure, you know?
Sure, yeah, I agree. So that's something to look into.
Yeah, I made a note.
All right, great comment. Okay, everybody good? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are done. Everybody have a great week.